Welcome to the latest remote edition of RPPV News, bringing you stories from across the Mornington Peninsula. I'm Catie Sharp, and our top items for this edition are: shocking domestic violence statistics for the Peninsula, the Shire launches its climate emergency response plan, Flinders Civic Hall gets a makeover, and the call is out for the Peninsula's best drivers. Now for the full stories. Peninsula Health has collected data showing an alarming increase in domestic violence over lockdown, including elderly abuse. According to MP News, the Peninsula has the highest number of police call-outs per capita for domestic violence in metropolitan Melbourne. Family violence presentations to hospitals have increased by 88% in the past year, while elder abuse presentations are up by 59%. The pandemic has emphasised a number of risk factors, including isolation, money problems, and depression. Help can be received through your GP, helpline, and Bayside Peninsula Orange Door. We go now to Shivani Pillay for the COVID report.
Thanks, Katie. As regional Victorians celebrate the easing of restrictions, police have warned anyone trying to sneak into regional Victoria without a lawful reason will be hit with a $4,957 fine, and travellers can expect lengthy delays at border checkpoints as the ring of steel is bolstered around Melbourne. As at the 19th of September, metropolitan Melbourne's 14-day daily case average is 39.3, which means we are on track for the restrictions to ease on the 28th of September, as per Daniel Andrews' roadmap. We must reach an average daily case rate of between 30 to 50 over the preceding fortnight to trigger an easing of lockdown measures. The Mornington Peninsula has been recording single digits this week, with 0 active cases. On the 18th of September, the Mornington Peninsula had 2 active cases. Frankston had 7 active cases, with 0 new active cases. Figures are high in neighbouring Catie, which recorded 74 active cases on the 19th of September and had a virus cluster outbreak linked to 5 households. Meanwhile, the government is being hauled into the Supreme Court by a small business owner in the Mornington Peninsula who is challenging the curfew restriction, arguing that it is preventing liberty and free movement and should be quashed, or alternatively is seeking a declaration that the detention is unlawful or invalid. Mornington Peninsula Mayor Sam Hearn has told the leader that the Peninsula will be sitting ducks over the summer holidays if they continue to be identified as part of metropolitan Melbourne. Mayor Hearn's concern is that lockdown Melbourneites will not be able to visit regional areas, making the Peninsula Melbourne's only available holiday spot. This will put extreme pressure on local resources and risk a third wave of coronavirus infections. The Mayor has repeatedly asked for the Peninsula to be treated as a regional area for both lockdown purposes and to access for regional grants and financial support. It's school holiday time, but fear not, our local services have you covered. The Mornington Peninsula Regional Gallery is hosting a number of virtual events, including craft activities and virtual tours. Frankston Arts Centre is hosting hot arts for cool kids at home. There's a puppet making workshop, face drawing, tutorials, and colouring books. Our libraries also have a number of virtual sessions, including Lego Legends, coding, and movie clubs. And of course, we can now be outside with a friend for 2 hours. And it doesn't have to be for exercise. So meet up with a local and enjoy the spring sunshine while the kids enjoy the playground. In querulous COVID news, we wonder whether the ring of steel is actually being built and whether it can double as a skate park. Just a little bit of humour, we hope will get you through the end of stage 4 restrictions. And if that didn't make you smile, Next time you're out, you may be as lucky as the morning walkers at Mornington and Mount Eliza this week, who saw a very cheerful pod of 6 dolphins providing onlookers with great entertainment. We certainly are fortunate to be here on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula. That's the COVID-19 news. I'm Shivani Pillay. Back to you, Catie.
Thank you, Shivani. Police believe a blaze that destroyed a beach box in Rosebud late last week may have been deliberately lit. MP News reported a gas bottle exploded during the fire, destroying the roof of a nearby box and damaging others. An investigation by the arson squad is currently underway. The Mornington Peninsula Shire has adopted its climate emergency response plan. The plan aims for zero carbon emissions by 2040, sustainable transport, zero waste, clean renewable energy, and sustainable land use. The plan is one of the first climate emergency response plans developed and adopted by the Australian local government. Dunkley MP Peter Murphy has told MP News that the number of Frankston residents in receipt of the job seeker allowance has risen by 45% since the pandemic began. She has called on the Prime Minister to not reduce the JobKeeper allowance until people are able to return to work and the economy improves. The federal government plans to reduce the allowance from $1,500 to $1,200 at the end of September. When we return, good news for Flinders Civic Hall.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands in Australia, looks after more than 1.8 million customers and can be found in over 500 locations nationwide. So try Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match because we live and breathe batteries, those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
Welcome back. The state government has given more than $2 million to the redevelopment of Flinders Civic Hall. A multi-purpose hall with unisex change room facilities, a terrace and access ramps are all on the to-do list for the redevelopment. The hall will house multiple community groups and programs including Flinders RSL and Lions, Flinders Arts Group and Art Show, and exercise classes. The Mornington Peninsula Koala Conservation has announced it will be creating a koala habitat that runs from call-out wetlands to HMAS Cerberus. The revegetation project is set to span the community of Summers to provide a corridor for koalas to move safely around the region. Revegetating the area will improve access to food, provide increased canopy cover and larger habitats to support breeding populations. The conservation works with community members offering free food trees and volunteers to assist with planting on residential properties. More information can be found on the Mornington Peninsula Koala Conservation website. The Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning has reminded everyone that with spring comes the swooping season. Our local native birds have babies in their nests and are protecting them. The main swoopers are magpies and masked lapwings. DELWP suggests the best way to stay safe is to avoid swooping hotspots, which can be identified on a hotspot map on the Wildlife Victoria website. If you can't avoid them, wear a hat or a helmet or use an umbrella to cover your head. Drawing eyes on the back of your hat or helmet is also known to work. Mornington Peninsula Shire has put out the call for local experienced drivers to help out with the TAC L2P program. L2P mentors are volunteers who help learner drivers who don't have access to supervising drivers or cars. Mentors help young people reach the 120 hours experience they need to take their licence test. The program needs 10 new mentors who can offer 1 to 2 hours of their time each week. The mentors will receive full training and support and will be covered by insurance. Visit the Shire website for details. And Frankston and the Peninsula have their very own food ordering and delivery app. If you order dinner from a local restaurant using the Byte Local app, 100% of the cost of your order goes back to the restaurant. From donuts to Thai food and everything in between, you can order from any participating local restaurant. Orders can be made on the Byte Local website, Facebook page and app. Just go to bytelocal.com.au or download the app from the usual places. Now we go to Alana with the coming week's weather report.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, guten Tag! I didn't see you there. I was too busy learning German. It's Alana here with your RPPV 7-day weather forecast for the Mornington Peninsula. Friday the 18th of September, it's looking like we're in for a partly cloudy start to the day. You can expect a top of 18 degrees and a medium chance of rain, most likely in the morning. Heading into your weekend though, it's looking like we're in for a beautifully sunny Saturday. You can expect a top of 23 degrees and only a slight chance of early morning fog to start your weekend. On Sunday, it's looking like we'll have some pretty similar sunny conditions as well. You can expect a top of 21 degrees, but keep in mind the cloud will be coming in for the afternoon when we can also expect some pretty gusty northwesterly winds of up to 40 kilometres an hour. On Monday, it's looking like that wind will bring in lots of rain because we're in for up to 15 millimetres of rain throughout Monday and a top of 19 degrees. On Tuesday, the showers will hang around. We're in for up to 5 millimetres of rain and a top of 17 degrees. On Wednesday, the cloudy conditions and rain will be easing. You can still expect some pretty gusty westerly winds this time though, up to 45 kilometres an hour throughout the day on Wednesday and a top of 15 degrees. So I'll be staying home and learning German, but just like the Germans say, I won't say goodbye, I'll say auf Wiedersehen because I'll see you next week.
And that's all from our team here at RPPV News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Remember, you can go outside for 2 hours with a friend and playgrounds are open. Just remember to wear a mask. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.